Hey everyone, this is the Snake383, and welcome to Session 2 of Let's Play Megaman Legends 1. Session 2 marks the beginning of the Get Megaman Some Cash campaign, and to do that, we're first going to take out the bonds in the northern forest.
Hey, here comes somebody else! He doesn't look like a police officer! Hey, it's that blue guy again! We'll show him just like we showed that officer! We ain't gonna lose this time.
And once again, it's up to you to take the bonds out, because the police, once again, failed to come up with a pirate defense plan. So the enemies in this area are tanks and turrets. Those are the only enemies that you'll have to worry about. To take out the tanks, I suggest you strafe around in a circle while also rotating the camera. The tanks will attack you with bullets and also fire shells at you. But there's no way you're going to be able to take out the turrets or go up on the hill on their level just by jumping from the ground. You're going to need to find an elevation or a small hill that'll let you jump onto the edge. When you shoot turrets, shoot them from a distance, so that way they'll shoot the ground and not you. It's better than just going up on their level, locking onto them, and just shooting the crap out of them. This is a pretty good area to grind cash if you want. So that way, after you restore the city by donating money, you'll have a couple of zenny left over so you can buy some extra power-ups or parts from the store. The way out to the next area is just beyond those two tanks, but I decided to stay around in this area so I can get some cash and also buy some extra buster parts. There are 3 sheds in this area that you can enter, but only 2 of them have people that'll have anything worthwhile to say. The shed with no people in it will actually become very important for a side quest. The side quest involves getting one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It takes up to 3 parts for you to make it complete as well. But once you get up on this hill, take out the turrets by any means necessary. So yes, this includes using the machine gun as well. You'll get a chance to refill your weapon energy anyway, because data will appear right before the area with the boss. When you get up close to the turrets, just strafe left and right to avoid the shells they fire. And while you're at it, check this box. You'll find the safety helmet, which can turn into the helmet part for Megaman. That'll be very useful because it'll reduce the damage you'll take from falls. If you've been following my guide, then you'll only have this amount of zenny up here left. So what I suggest you do is refill your canteen if you used any, and then also buy the blast unit and sniper unit buster parts. That way you'll have 3 attributes that have been upgraded: attack, energy, and range. It'll be very beneficial in the long run, especially when you go up against Teisel Bonne. Teisel Bonne can actually get very, very hard if you haven't upgraded your buster much. Or anything at all. I decided to grind for Zenny for a while, and then walk into the shed, where you'll find the inspector and his sidekick, the effeminate police officer. Once again, pirate defense plan, pirate defense budget. Contact your local island's government today about a pirate defense plan. This girl is talking about the legendary disaster that's supposedly going to happen to an island, but this is all false. The pirates are not a part of the legendary disaster. What they're doing is just only hastening its development. Even this guy knows that you need a pirate defense plan. And right by this empty shed, there's one trash can that contains money, and then the other one, just a couple of steps away from it, contains nothing. Since I hadn't played this game in a long time, I've just been inspecting everything. If you're playing this game for the first time, you'll never know what you may find if you inspect a trash can or a box. As I told you, no one's in this shed right now. Come back after you've defeated Teisel Bonne. So that's all there is to do at the moment in this area. So after you take out the 2 tanks, just move on to the next section of the area. You'll be greeted by more tanks that won't instantly fire on you. I think this pretty much makes the serve bots really terrible henchmen, but they really do have a lot of heart in their work, if you call pirating work. It's not even work, it's criminal activity. Someone in the comments also made a good point. Remember how Tron called the serve bots her kids? So, that implies either she did it with a robot, or otherwise had the more common sense solution. Create her own kids. So you probably noticed that there's some gray ruins in the background right here. We're going to be investigating those ruins later on, after we've defeated Teisel Bonne. There's also a flower on the corner of this patch of grass. I suggest you pick it up, because then you'll be able to give it to Roll as a present. Presents don't even do anything in this game. Not until the second game at least, where you win favor with her. But that's a discussion for a later date. Aside from recharging your weapon energy, your shield, and your life energy, I suggest you save, because it'll be very important in case you screw up, so you don't have to do this entire section again. All you have to do is destroy the 3 tanks in this area, and then keep pressing forward. So then you'll start a cutscene. Now you know why I used the blast unit and the sniper unit power-ups. See? The shell and the machine gun rounds can't even reach me if I shoot from afar.
What gives? I dig and I'm still nowhere near the bottom! Maybe we will need that key after all!
Master Teisel, we were beaten. That blue boy is heading this way.
He's coming. All right, everyone, quit digging! Our priority now is to get rid of our little blue friend, all right? Be careful and don't be fooled by his size. He's already beaten Bonne and Tron. Let's do it!
Roger!
Here's your new mission. Destroy the Marwolf, the Bonne's digging machine. Its armor is impenetrable, so you're not going to be able to destroy it through normal means.
Mission start!
Watch out, because the Marwolf will open up by firing energy shots at you. The first thing I suggest you do is destroy the treads. That way you'll slow down the Marwolf's movement. Don't pay attention to what Teisel Bonne says to you. He's only trying to discourage you from destroying the treads. Just keep running away every time the Marwolf chases after you. There you go. The treads have been destroyed. Your next order of business is to take care of the tanks that are perched on top of the edges of the hill. Anytime the energy shots lock onto you, use the evasive roll, so that way they'll be able to miss. As long as you stay behind the tanks, when you shoot at them, they won't even attack you. Every bit of Zenny really counts in this area. Because essentially, you're stealing the Bonne's cash and giving it back to the city. So this is pretty much proper justice going down right here. Stealing from pirates and giving their money back to the city. That roll right there was a wild guess. Actually, no, it wasn't a wild guess. It was actually years of experience with this game. But once you've taken care of all the tanks, you're free to destroy the Marwolf. Aside from shooting energy balls at you, the Marwolf also launched 2 attacks from the hatch. A Servbot may come out and shoot a bomb at you, and it will also launch these flying bombs that'll drop on top of you. Just shoot them down whenever you hear a chirping sound. This would be a case when lock-on is most advised, and would also be the most helpful. So since the hatch is the only weak point of the Marwolf, you're going to have to climb on top of this hill every single time you jump off the hatch. The developers programmed the Marwolf to move around in a U-shaped path, so it'll keep going back and forth between 2 points. Now you know why I chose the machine gun for this mission, because it's really useful when upgraded properly. But every time you'll want to attack the Marwolf, you're going to have to get to the highest point you can that gets you close to the Marwolf. You'll just have this constant cycle of jumping onto the deck of the Marwolf, attacking it with a machine gun, and then jumping off the deck so you can avoid any attacks that a servant bot or those bird bombs may launch at you. It's just a very tedious cycle. But I still can't get over the fact that Megaman has 2 guns on his arms, and yet he's still able to lift himself up onto the upper edge. I understand if he had both of his arms on the platforms, but still, how in the world is he grabbing a hold of the edges? It might just be a better idea for you, if you're new to this game, to just fire the machine gun at the open hatch from afar. Just make sure you have enough weapon energy to spare. If you don't, then you're just gonna have to stick with the Mega Buster and fire that from afar, or otherwise, jump onto the deck and fire the Mega Buster at the hatch. This is also another case of why the mine is also a terrible weapon for combat. If you use the mine to defeat the Marwolf, then I congratulate you on using one of the most worthless weapons in existence to defeat the boss. Well, ever since I ran out of weapon energy, I've been trying to shoot it from afar, but I decided screw it and just jumped onto the deck. Once the Marwolf starts flashing, it's time for you to bail out.
What are you standing around for? Put out the fire! Put it out!
The automated fire extinguishers aren't working.
What? But, it's inconceivable! How could a little punk like that ever defeat me? How much does he think it cost to build that in the first place? I'm gonna get him. If it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get him.
Master Teisel, are you alright? Master Teisel?
Just you wait. Oh, you're mine, Blue Boy. I'll get you.
Time to go home.
So, I bet you feel real special now that you've defeated Teisel Bonne and the entire Bonne Pirate Family. One of the most deadliest pirate gangs ever. There's not much else you can do, so climb out of this pit. And then you'll get a call from Roll.
Megaman, can you hear me? The mayor says there's something real important she has to talk with you about. Can you come back here?
Roger. I'll head back to City Hall.
If only we'd known there was someone like him here in the first place. We won't fail next time. We'll ambush, concentrate our firepower on him. We won't cut him any slack just because we outnumber him. That kid's going down.
Just wait till you see, Teisel. I've got a new robot I've been wanting to build that'll do the trick. That'll teach him.
This time, we get rid of Blue Boy for sure, and get that treasure!
This coffee sure tastes good.
Megaman, good going! You showed those pirates who's boss!
How can I thank you? You've done so much for us. I hope this will convince those pirates to give up. I'm afraid to think what might happen if they get their hands on the treasure. The legends say a horrible disaster will occur if it's ever unearthed. Even if that's just a myth, lately we've been detecting increased activity underground. The Reaver bots are apparently activating of their own accord. It has me concerned. Maybe there's some truth to those stories about a horrible disaster? I wonder. Megaman, would you be willing to explore the caves and dungeons on the island and see if you can find anything?
He looks so upset. He's saying, "Oh, do I have to?" Well, you don't have any other choice.
You will? Oh, thank you so much. Here, you'll need this. Only the best diggers are able to get a Class A license. The best of the best. With that license, you'll be able to get into the sealed-off sites. The ones those pirates have been trying to break into. I give you my permission to dig in the island's subgates. Just let me know if you find anything that can tell us about the treasure or that disaster that's supposed to happen if the treasure's disturbed. And I hate to mention this, but if while you're digging you find anything of value, it would mean a lot to us if you could donate it to help with the restoration of the city. Thank you again. Be careful.
You could pretty much say that all the money we took from the pirates went forward to construction of the city. So essentially you could say that the pirates contributed to reconstructing the city. But I suggest you take care of the city repairs as quickly as possible. So that way you'll have all the money you'll need in order to contribute towards building weapons, enhancing them, and other neat toys. So you have to keep talking to Amelia in order to contribute money towards reconstructing the residential houses, the condominiums, and also the bank, city hall, and the police station if they were damaged. Thankfully, City Hall didn't get any serious damages, and neither did the police station. So that's definitely a plus. Contributing money towards reconstructing the city will also increase your karma rating. So that way, you won't have black armor anymore. But that's not gonna keep you from getting black armor. You're still gonna be able to get it if you keep kicking the can too much. This also applies to kicking the Coke machines to get a free drink, and also shooting down birds and abusing animals as well. The animal abuse only applies in the Japanese version, as you know. So now that we've finally contributed all the money we have towards complete reconstruction of the city, we're free to go explore the ruins now. But we're gonna go let Roll analyze all the items that we have. I remember when I first played this, my brother thought that Megaman looked great without the helmet, because he liked the anime style hair on him. But the helmet doesn't really look that great, considering it looks more like a football helmet or motorcycle helmet, you could say. I also decided to contribute whatever money I had left to increasing the special on the machine gun buster. So that way, the firing speed has been increased. And with that, we're gonna bid adieu and finally go investigate the ruins in the northern forest. I wanted to leave this section of the video in because I want to show you guys how boring it can get just showing you walking from place to place. It gets very boring, especially since we don't have a crucial upgrade item for Megaman yet. I might as well go ahead and tell you what it is now. It's jet skates that function as the slide for Megaman, or dash if you will. It will allow you to run a lot faster from location to location. But I'm still going to cut out the backtracking and whatnot. Because honestly, like you see here, it gets very, very boring. Please pardon the transition. That was a test on my capture card. But anyway, let's go. As with the previous ruins, there's only so much we can do, since we don't have important upgrades. You'll find some money in this chest over here. And over to the right, you're going to see a trap box. These kinds of trap boxes will shoot bombs out at you. But there's no way to tell whether the box is going to be a trap or not. At least not until you've completely found all the treasure chests that contain items in this game. Because trap boxes are going to be the only ones that'll respawn and look like unopened treasure boxes. Regardless, I recommend you still destroy them because you'll still get a ton of money from them. And in this section, there are turrets that'll fire 90-degree angles. I recommend that you take those out, because then you're going to be able to proceed safely on the bridge. So stand at them from a 45-degree angle and shoot them. Feel free to use the machine gun too if you want. Be careful about these robots because if they get too close, they'll explode. Fortunately, they're also weak, so that's another plus. They also guard the chest over there, as you can see. Be very careful not to get knocked back onto the floor. If you do, you're just going to have to go back around, and it gets very annoying. Inside you'll find the cannon kit, which lets Roll create the powered buster weapon arm. It doesn't have very much weapon energy even if you upgrade it, but it's still a very powerful weapon by shooting a powerful shot. You can't fire it rapidly, but it's still a pretty good trade-off. But we'll be using that in the next boss fight, whenever we get to it. Because once we've maxed out the machine gun, we're going to move on to a new weapon. right here is as far as we can go for now, because we don't have the proper jumping abilities yet. So we're going to exit the ruins for now, but come back later.